most new members budget their military pay off the wrong number, and it costs them. They sign a lease or a car loan against a paycheck they have never actually read, and then they panic the first time taxes hit. Today we fix that for good. Here's what we're covering, and today we dive into all three pieces. Your military pay is base pay plus 2 allowances, and the biggest chunks are not even taxed. By the end of this video, you will read your own paycheck line by line and know exactly where to spot an error.
Lewis here. I have watched this trip people up for decades, and the pattern never changes. A junior member sees a big yearly figure on a recruiter chart and assumes that is what lands in the bank. The real take-home is a different story entirely.
Hey everyone, Liam here, and I am genuinely curious how two people who wear the same rank can end up with such different checks. That part confused me for a long time, so we are going to pull it apart piece by piece until it actually makes sense.
This is Emma, and I want to be precise about one thing up front. There are exactly 3 building blocks here, and once you can name them, you stop guessing about your own money. We will define each one and show exactly where it appears on your statement.
This series is your in-service guide to everything that matters while you serve in every branch, active and reserve alike. It all starts with the paycheck. Coming up, we crack open base pay and the tax-free allowances, then the trap that wrecks budgets. Liam, you asked a sharp question, so let us begin exactly there. Base pay is the foundation, and it is the one piece that is fully taxable. 2 things set it: your pay grade and your years of service, nothing else. Not your job, not your branch, just your rank and how long you have served.
And this is the same published table for all 6 branches. An E5 in the Army with 4 years in earns the identical base pay as an E5 in the Navy or the Space Force with 4 years in. The pay chart does not care about the uniform.
So if I stay the same rank but cross another service year, my base pay actually goes up on its own. Is that right?
Exactly right, Liam. Base pay steps up at set time in service marks, often every 2 years early in a career, so you can get a raise from longevity alone without ever pinning on a higher rank just by crossing the next year gate.
There is a second raise layered on top of that, and it happens every January. The Pentagon adjusts the whole base pay table once a year. For 2026, the increase is 3.8%, and it took effect on the first day of January.
Because it changes every year, always read the current chart, never an old one. That annual number is set by a formula tied to private sector wage growth, called the Employment Cost Index, so nobody picks it out of thin air.
Here is the part that matters at tax time, though. Base pay is taxable income. Whatever shows on that chart, the government treats it as wages, and that is the piece your federal and state taxes are calculated on.
Hold on to that word, taxable, because it is about to matter enormously. The 2 biggest remaining pieces of your paycheck are not taxed at all, and that single fact changes everything about your real income. Emma, walk us into the allowances.
Now the 2 allowances, and this is where military pay gets genuinely powerful. One is for housing, and it is called BAH. The other is for food, and it is called BAS. Both are allowances rather than wages, and both are completely tax-free.
Start with the food allowance, BAS, because it is the simplest one to pin down. It is a single flat number that does not move around the way base pay does.
Exactly. In 2026, the BAS is a flat $476.95 a month for enlisted members and $328.48 for officers. A brand new private and a 20-year senior leader receive the exact same amount.
Housing is the bigger and more interesting one. BAH is driven by 3 inputs. Those are your duty station location, your pay grade, and whether you have dependents. Think of it as a thermostat for local rent, set by zip code rather than by your lease.
Wait, so my BAH is not based on what I actually pay in rent?
Correct, Liam, and that surprises almost everyone. The military sets a rate for your area and your rank, and you receive that rate whether your real rent is higher or lower. We dig into that gap and how to profit from it in the very next episode.
And here is the piece that finally explains the mystery from the cold open. A member living in the barracks and eating at the dining facility generally receives little or no BAH and little or no BAS because the military is already providing the room and the food directly.
So two members at the same rank can take home wildly different amounts. One lives off base with a family and collects both allowances. The other lives in the barracks and collects almost neither. Same base pay, very different deposit. Liam, that is your answer. Let us make the tax piece crystal clear, because it is the part with real money in it. The government taxes your base pay and it taxes most bonuses. It does not tax your two allowances. Housing and food money come to you completely free of federal income tax.
This is written into federal tax law, not a loophole. The official Internal Revenue Service Guide for the Armed Forces lists both BAH and BAS as items excluded from gross income. They are legally not counted as taxable wages.
So when my tax form arrives in January, those allowances are not even on it.
Right, Liam. Your W-2 reports your taxable wages in Box 1, and your tax-free allowances simply do not appear there. From the tax form's point of view, that housing and food money never happened, even though it landed in your account every month.
And this is the quiet advantage of military pay that civilians rarely understand. A civilian who earns a housing stipend pays tax on it. Your housing money is tax-free, which means a real dollar of BAH is worth more than a taxable dollar of salary. Picture a member whose paycheck is part base pay and part allowances. A large slice of that monthly money is arriving with no tax taken at all, so the effective tax rate on the whole paycheck is lower than the bracket on the chart suggests.
So here is the mistake to retire today. Do not assume your entire paycheck gets taxed. A meaningful share of it is tax-free, which is exactly why your take-home can feel better than a civilian friend earning the same headline number. Now let us find all of this on the actual document. Every piece we just covered shows up on one monthly document, the Leave and Earnings Statement, or LES. If you learn to read 4 parts of it, you will catch pay problems before they snowball into a debt you owe back. Emma, you love a clean breakdown.
I do. The first section is entitlements, and that is everything you were paid. Your base pay sits here, and so do your allowances like BAH and BAS. The official guidance calls it what you were paid through your basic pay and various supplements.
So entitlements is the money coming in. What is the next section after that?
The next one is deductions, which is everything taken out. That means federal and state taxes, your Social Security and Medicare contributions, and your thrift savings plan money if you contribute. This is where the tax we discussed actually leaves your check.
The third section is allotments, and this one trips people up. An allotment is money automatically routed out of your pay to somewhere else, like a savings account or an insurance premium. The guidance is blunt. Know what each one is and who is receiving it.
And the fourth thing I always look for is my leave balance, the number of paid days off I have banked.
Smart thinking, Liam. That leave is money and time you earned, and you can lose the excess at the end of the fiscal year if you never use it. The statement literally carries your leave balance, so you can keep an eye on it month to month.
So here is how you spot an error before it becomes a debt. Read your entitlements every single month and confirm the allowances match your real situation. If your life changed but the numbers did not follow, that is a flag to take straight to your finance office.
That monthly habit is the single best defense against a surprise overpayment that finance later claws back. Read it like a bank statement, because that is exactly what it is. Now, base pay and allowances are the core, but your paycheck can grow well beyond them.
Beyond the core 3, the military has always paid extra for harder or more dangerous work. These are called special and incentive pays, and they stack right on top of your base pay for anyone who qualifies.
What kinds of things actually trigger that extra pay?
Quite a range, Liam. Jumping out of aircraft earns jump pay and diving earns dive pay. Flying, serving at sea, and handling hazardous duties each carry their own pay too. None of these are automatic, you earn them by holding the duty or the qualification.
And there is a powerful tax twist worth previewing. When you serve in a designated combat zone, your base pay itself can become tax-free under the combat zone tax exclusion. That is a whole stacked pays episode of its own, so we are just planting the flag here.
Now, an important point for the Guard and Reserve, because this series serves them too. If you drill part-time, your pay is built differently from a full-time active member, and the math confuses a lot of new members.
Here is the formula. You take the monthly base pay for your grade and divide it by 30 to get a daily rate. Then you multiply that daily rate by the number of drill periods you serve that month. It is base pay sliced into days.
And the part that surprises everyone, a normal drill weekend counts as 4 drill periods, not 2. So a single Saturday and Sunday actually pays roughly 4 days of base pay because each half-day session is its own paid period.
So a drilling member is not paid a flat weekend wage, they are paid by the period off the same base pay table. That is the honest all-branch picture. Now let us close on the one number that quietly wrecks more military budgets than anything else. Here is the trap that catches the most people, and it is entirely avoidable. New members budget off the gross yearly figure, the big number on a recruiter chart or a pay estimate site, instead of the actual deposit that hits their bank account.
That gross figure blends taxable base pay with tax-free allowances into one shiny total. It looks bigger than your real spendable money, because taxes still come out of the base pay portion, and your actual allowances depend on your specific situation.
There is a second, sharper version of this trap. People budget off a BAH rate they do not actually receive. They look up the housing rate for their zip and rank online, assume they will get it, and sign a lease against money that never arrives.
But here is where I would push back gently. If an online calculator shows my exact rank and zip code, why is that not just my real number?
Factor analysis of information risk question, and the catch is in what the calculator cannot see. It shows the rate for someone who lives off base at that rank and location, but it does not know your actual housing status. The barracks member from earlier gets little or none of that BAH.
So the calculator is a ceiling, not a promise. The way to settle it is to stop guessing from a chart and read the one document that knows your real situation. Your own LES shows the housing amount you are actually being paid this month.
So here's what I do, and this is the practical rule for every new member. Budget off the deposit that lands in your account, then open your LES and confirm each allowance matches your status. Verify any rate with your finance office rather than a forum.
That is the whole game, and it works in every branch and every component. The deposit is the truth, and the statement is the receipt.
If you forget everything else in this video, remember this. Your pay is base pay plus tax-free BAH and BAS. Two members of the same rank can take home very different amounts, so budget off the real deposit, never the gross or a BAH rate you do not receive. Thank you, Louis, Liam, and Emma for laying the foundation with me. Everything else in this series builds on reading your own paycheck correctly. Tell us in the comments which branch you serve and whether your take-home surprised you when you first saw it. Quick recap before we close. Your paycheck is taxable base pay set by grade and years of service, plus 2 tax-free allowances called BAH and BAS. Your real take-home is what actually lands in the bank.
The line that has saved people the most is simple. Read your LES like a bank statement, because catching one error early beats fighting a debt later.
The thing that finally clicked for me is that a tax-free allowance dollar is genuinely worth more than a taxable salary dollar.
And whatever you do, budget off the deposit that hits your account, not a gross figure or a rate you only assume you will receive.
3 paydays from now, you will thank yourself for learning to read those 4 sections today. Next up, we tackle the most Googled number in the military, and wait until you see the one mistake that quietly triggers a debt. Subscribe so this all-branch series reaches you first. This is Professor Erica. Thanks for watching and signing off.